TimeShot, yes, TimeShot. I'm in the place where my friends are, and I know together we'll go far. Yeah, TimeShot, yes, TimeShot. And I'm still doing things the TimeShot way. Hello, people, it's Poet, and we are back in TimeShot. I am grabbing a chest full of quartz, as much quartz as I have. Although I should actually grab... I'll grab one stack of the chiseled and then the rest of the pillar quartz as well. So how are you all doing today? I got all the stuff off my bar because I was actually in the nether sorting quartz into stacks, and that just made it easier. But time to get everything back on the bar, because today I want to actually start working on that build right there, the one that my cursor is hovering over right now. And for that I'm gonna need actually some, let's put this back down, I'm gonna need actually some of this black terracotta. Probably not that much, well, maybe that much. And then blue glass. And it's the glass, I believe, not the panes that I need. So I'll just grab that. There we go. Perfect building chest. Let's actually swap these two. Oh, lots to talk about today. So, first things first, I wanted to chat about Patreon. I just touched upon this in the last episode. I'm going to touch upon it again and say that I appreciate every single person who has ever pledged on Patreon. You know what? I'm actually gonna run to spawn right now and grab some new fireworks because they're in need. There we go. I should be able to make it there on one firework. And while I fly over there, let me again say I appreciate everyone who has ever pledged. I am in the process today. Actually, I set aside a little bit of time to hopefully go over some of the things on my Patreon. Since I set it up, the way that it worked is I pretty much set it up. I threw in the tiers, the things that just popped to into my head, first things that popped in my head. I set it up with, you know, a few graphics, a few bits of Poet Plays art and stuff like that. And then I just kind of called it a day. You know, I didn't really go back to it after they added a bunch of new features. So Patreon went in, they added several new tracking mechanisms for creators to really dive down deep and make it easier to manage who we have rewarded and who hasn't been rewarded and who is currently pledging and whose pledge expired and all of that. So they really made it easy to do that, and I haven't really even taken advantage of that because I haven't played around with it in a while. That being said, of course, I would like to. And with that, because especially since my Mixer partnership has expired, and that was on that was my own doing. I let it expire. With that, I mean, it wasn't crazy the amount of sub money that I was getting every month from Mixer. I don't know what it was. It was yeah, I think I had maybe 3-4 people pledging on there, so it wasn't like crazy crazy amounts of money or anything like that. But you know, if it's $10, if it's $20, if it's $5, even if it's $1, you know, it really does make a difference to me. Because that $1 I can use for so much, and so you know, not having that, it will be impactful when it finally comes along, when it finally expires, and when I'm no longer having that income source. Now, with that said, like I said, I'm not really relying on it or anything, but it really made me want to focus more on. Really made me want to focus more on the Patreon side. Now, I could also, at this point, this is, if we're talking about a, like a formative time here, transformative time, where I could, I'm thinking about redoing the tiers or something. I could take this opportunity to switch to a different service. There are other services out there like GameWisp that was made specifically not just for supporting content creators, but made specifically for gaming content creators. That's what GameWisp was all about. And the GameWisp people have actually a little bit of a history with me and TimeShot and with other Minecrafters and stuff. They actually, back in the old days of PAX, can we call them that yet? The old days of PAX, like 3-4 years ago. The GameWisp guys were the ones who actually lent their booth. Is that lightning? That's not good. I didn't know lightning could strike in when there's no... Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. There is rain here. Okay, there's lightning everywhere. I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna find a bed quick and just sleep that away. Because I cannot have this place burned down. I forgot to put any decorations in these houses here. Does this guy have a bed? No. It's nothing in there either. I spent, like, last episode decorating all these bases and stuff, and I can't find a bed anywhere. Upstairs, upstairs. Ugh. Alright. Woo, that's weird. Alright. Perfect. Alright, back up there I go. Whee! So yeah, they actually lent their booth to the Godiva Gaming group, who of course, several of those members were also on TimeShot and in other Minecraft communities out there. So that was sort of exciting to have them have a booth at PAX, and it was actually made possible by the people at GameWisp. So that's something that I have to try to consider. I mean, because it's really important that they did that. It means a lot that they did that. They didn't have to, but they did. I'm running back and forth here on purpose because I'm actually trying to scout out where to start building here. Because it actually goes like that. And then it builds up. But I don't know how high it builds up, so I'm just going to go up and hope for the best. That's how I usually end up building. Yeah, I can't tell at all. I think it must go all the way up to the top there. So I'm gonna guess like that. Yeah, because now it's a stair block on the top. Okay, so I'm gonna guess like that. I can always really do the measurements off camera and stuff to perfect this. Alright, so that one's done. And I'm seeing now that I need a lot more pillar than I thought. That's okay, we can make it easily enough. So anyway, back onto the thing. I don't think that I'm gonna, all that said about GameWisp and how great they are, I don't think that I'm going to be switching to them. That's just personal preference. I already have, of course, this awesome Patreon community built up, and I don't want to start confusing people and switching from one to the other. So that's probably not going to happen, but in an ideal world, I would love for that to happen. Ooh, I need to eat something. But what I want to do is really look at what I have for my reward tiers. So the way that it works is you pledge a certain amount. If you're not aware of what Patreon even is, the link has been in my description for like years. But if you're not aware of what it is, you pledge a certain amount every month. like a subscription fee, like you would do to Netflix, like you would do to, well, even like a Mixer sub, a Twitch Prime sub, and that kind of stuff. Hulu membership, and any of those subscription services. So you pledge a certain amount every month, and then that amount unlocks certain tiers. And you can pledge as low as, like, I think $1 a month is, I think, my lowest tier. $1 a month. I mean, that's less than it's not even a cup of coffee once every 30 days. It's a quarter of a cup of coffee once every 30 days. So that's a pretty reasonable price, I think, and that's just one of the tiers. But they do go up, I think, to $15. I'm pretty sure. You see, this is how out of touch I am with the tiers and everything, is that I don't even know what the top tier. I think it's 15. Because I know that I have an 8 and I have a 10, and then I think it goes up from there to 15, if I'm not mistaken. No, this is wrong. You're wrong. This needs to go up by 1. Which tells me that I think those need to go up by 1. Potentially. Yeah, I think they do. Welp, I don't have any pillaring blocks to get over there, so scaffold blocks, anyone? Scaffold blocks coming soon to Minecraft. Excited. Okay, so that. Okay, there is one. These back ones right there actually go up higher than any others. They go all the way up to that right there. So, let's do it. So I'm going to rework all of the Patreon rewards, is what I was trying to get to this whole time. We've been talking for 12 minutes. That's what I meant to get to. Ultimately, is that, yes, I am going to be redoing the tiers. Hopefully. And I need your suggestions. So if you're watching, maybe you're not a patron, maybe you are a patron. I have in my patron Discord a section there for people to request different rewards or give reward ideas. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe you haven't. I'm asking again. This is super important to me because right now, more than ever, I'm wanting to change it. So if you have the time, and that's just a big if you have the time, if you happen to, feel free to go in there if you're a Patreon patron and submit any idea you can, anything that comes to mind. I know that merch has been in there a lot. That one, I don't know how feasible that is, because although these are monthly pledges, the cost of shipping, and trust me, I've done a ton of shipping from where I live now to Canada and to just even other places in the state, and it costs a ton. Like for nothing, you'll pay easily $20 in shipping for no reason, and that eats up all of the Patreon pledge. So it's sort of disheartening to have to ship something like that. So I so wish that I could ship out merch. And then of course the other problem with that is that I would have to buy the merch as well, because though I sell it in my shop, I don't get it for free. I don't have that merch sitting around my house, you know. I'm not the one who does the shipping. It ships out of a warehouse somewhere, and so that's not taken care of by me. I would have to buy the merch, which is you know, I'd probably pay around $15-16 for it, and then ship it out for another $20. So we're talking like $36 to ship it to one person, which would be okay, but it's a one-time thing. And here's what my big desire is for this Patreon thing, is to eventually get it so that these rewards keep giving back. I want them to keep giving back. And not just be one-time rewards. So, for example, I do this thing where I call it the Ultra Shoutout Pledge. And what it entails is basically, if you pledge $10, you get an Ultra Shoutout in one of my videos. Okay? And I just did. Literally the last episode I did this. What I would love to be able to do is have that recur. So if your pledge renews next month, you would then get another shout out that next month. And that's really where it should be and what it should be, is to have a shout out every month. Have your episode sponsored by so-and-so every month. Because it is sponsored by those people every month. You know, just because they pledged the amount once, you know, or doesn't mean that just because they pledged that one amount doesn't mean that they should only get the reward once. But then that also opens the door to other things being abused in a way. So I need to figure out how I can sort of moderate it in a certain way. I want to make it fair to everyone who pledges, because some people will pledge more than others. Okay, what do I need right now? What is this? What is this? Where does this go? This tower right here is glass? Okay, yeah. I see. So this tower right here, I'm going to have to actually start from the bottom, but I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. And then it's just right there, huh? Yep, just right here. Okay. So that's the Patreon thing. I'm reworking on those. Oh, and by the way, if you are not a patron right now, if you do not pledge a thing, I'm not saying you should hold off. I think what I'm going to do is make it retroactive. So if I make... Where are all my torches? I put them in that chest, didn't I? If I make new pledges right now and you're a patron currently pledging, you will get all the new rewards, whatever they might be, whatever I come up with. So, ooh, I'm running out of fuel here. Really running out of fuel. All right, anyway. You will still get all the rewards, is what I was trying to say. Just to make it fair. But anyway, if you are not a patron, I would still welcome in the comments maybe, or even send me an email. My email is on the YouTube About page. Send me an email, send me a DM or a tweet, or whatever you can think of to contact me, and submit some ideas. In the comment section is probably the best idea section, to be honest. But in the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are for patron pledges. What would entice you to pledge even $1 a month, $5 a month? Like, think about those types of tiers, and let me know what would suit your fancy. We'll go from that. Because I don't know. See, here's the thing: is that, you know, to me, $5 a month might not sound like a lot, but it is a ton. And I know that people just can't continually pledge that much without at least seeing some kind of a benefit back for it. Okay, so it's blocks of quartz and then 2. Okay. Starting from 137. 137, which is there, I guess it was. 137, 1, 2, 3. See, I've already messed up. Yeah, okay. Alright, I get it now. All right. There. The other thing I wanted to quickly talk about was just give you guys an update quick on my home renovation stuff. I know that's not too exciting. I know, but it's important to me, so deal with it. Okay, this goes, I think, up to there. It looks like it's just in front of that block. Okay, all right. I don't know. Like, surely it must. Hold on. I gotta dig this out. Okay, so it's on that one block lower than what I am, which is where that is. Okay. Yeah, so then it's all done. Correct. That's not right. I've messed up now, because that should actually be like boop boop. All right? Like that. I'm getting confused here. Because it definitely 1, 2, 3, 4. This is already at 3, but it's one block off. So did I mess up something badly here? Did I mess up something really badly here? Is this block off? Is it out of alignment? There's 1, 2, 3 blocks in between those two. There's 1, 2, 3 blocks in between those two. Oh, it's 3 from, okay, yes. I got it. I fixed it. I got it. Because this, then, is quartz there, yes. 1, 2, 3. There. Coming together, guys. House stuff. So I've been working on stuff in the house constantly, learning a lot about fixing up a house. I did it before. I've done it before. I worked on my house where I used to live all the time, and I feel like it was in a different stage. So this house that I live in now is more complete than the house that I lived in before. But that brings about its own set of issues. So whereas in the other house it was so old and needed so much work that I was ripping out whole walls, and then when I'd rip out a whole wall, I'd be like, oh, okay, this needs X thing, you know, to finish it off. 1, 2. This is on the wrong level, this block right here, according to that. But yeah, it was in a different state of repair, and now I feel like I'm fixing someone else's mistakes more so than it's working on a new project, if that makes sense. It's 1, 2, 3. There. Going all right. It's going good. Now I need a bunch of stair blocks, though. Where's this music? Need to turn that off for a second. Actually, hold the video. All right. So, yeah, I'm back. Where was I? Oh, yeah. So, the house projects. When I was working on the old house, it was easy. I knew what I needed. I knew oh, I need to tear down a wall. Oh, I need to rebuild this wall with drywall and, you know, put in insulation in this thing. And, oh, this electrical needs to be redone. That was that. I knew sort of what I was dealing with. And in this house, it's more like everything's perfect. Wow, this is too good to be true. And then it turns out to be too good to be true. And you're like, oh, it needs what now? It needs how much work here? Why wasn't this done? You know, and a lot of that. So I deal with it. I try my best. I put in a heat duct, for example. There was just no heat duct into the bathroom. We can't figure out why. It just wasn't there. It looked like it should have been there, but it just wasn't. And I think a lot of what we're dealing with now in this house is sort of the it's like when the inspection was done, they were hiding stuff, and now that we've lived here long enough, we're starting to uncover the stuff that they hid, the stuff that they put a band-aid over to fix. That's sort of what it feels like, more so than it being like, oh, this is what I need to work on next. It's like, oh, what did I just uncover? And it's unfortunate that it's like that, but I don't know how much is them, how much might have been the previous owner to them. But either way, you know, I'm not too thrilled with some of the stuff that I've had to find and had to do and had to work on. I'm still working out of the living room. The house sale in Canada, just a quick update on that. It did finally finalized. And what that means is that I can now start working potentially on finishing my office. Okay, what do we got going on here? Stair block, chisel, chisel, stair, chisel, chisel, stair. I see. So I see. We're on 137, huh? All right, 137 is chiseled. I see. I see. I didn't bring any of that chisel block. I can make some though. Like that. Like that. There we go. And it starts on 137 technically. So that one should be as well, I think. And then stair. Chisel, chisel, stair. So there's that. I've had to deal with that for months now, is uncovering things. Uncovering things that I never expected that I would have to deal with, but here we are dealing with it. Okay, so let's see. This goes stair, stair, stair. I think we're on the right block, right? Like we're on 162. We'll go all the way over to the other side. Is 162. Except that is just a plain old piece of quartz across the top. Well, I do some of these intricate designs, and I get lost in some of the intricacies. When I do it once, it's easy. When I have to repeat it somewhere, then I just get so confused. Okay, and then it goes essentially just all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5, and then again across all the way. Like that. This is actually quite enjoyable. I love building in Minecraft. One of my favorite things to do. Genuinely. Love it. So there's that. That's basically all I wanted to talk about today. I did want to talk about a fairly big rant, but I wanted to at least get this episode out, get this episode done before I start going into full rant mode, because it's a fairly serious talk. Not serious, but it's like it's an important talk. And I want to get it right, and I want to dedicate at least, you know, the typical 40-minute episode to that talk, rather than, you know, updating you guys on Patreon, updating you guys on the house. Oh, and then just tag this on to the end. I can't stand when I do that. I know that you guys probably can't stand that either. So I want to do better. I'm actually going to do this. This is going to go all the way across here. All the way. Go all the way. Yep. Right to there. It's a serious rant. I'm going to talk about it. I'm not even going to give you a hint as to what it's about, but can't wait to talk about it because it needs to be talked about, and that's all that I'll say about it. Oh, what could it be? What poet has something to rant about? What? I know, right? Oops, that's very wrong. Okay. So I'll just leave that episode there. Again, in the comments below, if you guys have any ideas or suggestions for what might make you pledge money on Patreon, even if you, we're just making it hypothetical, so I'm not asking you to, but if you could, maybe you could afford it, maybe you could spare a couple dollars, $1 a month, whatever. What would you like to see given every month? This is a recurring thing. So like a good example, server access. So I have right now server access to my Patreon server. Basically gives everybody free access to hang out with other like-minded fans of the show and whatnot. I wish I had way more time to spend on that server as well. I feel so much. I always have felt like I'm splitting my time. Like I just don't have nearly enough time to spend on TimeShot and my dinosaur world and on a Patreon server, but I would love to be able to do more on there, more events on there, and maybe that's part of the reward is to do events. I know that Win, for example, has her monthly sub UHC. Maybe we could do something similar to that, maybe a monthly Hypixel hangout or something like that, where we once a month, everybody who is currently pledging would be able to hang out in a call, maybe record a few videos, do a cool thing together. That's the kind of idea that I'm thinking of. Something that would be able to recur. So the other example like I gave before was every month I would go through my active list, all the people who are pledging, and then one video at a time. I probably would have to remove the... See, the way that it works now is you get to pick which video you have your sponsor name on. That would probably have to change, just being honest. It would probably have to go back to me just going and picking the episodes, because I would have to do them in order, and there would be more than the odd person there, so I would need to go and just space it out, you know. There we go. This is finito here. Actually, this is looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. There. This is looking pretty nice. Yeah, that's where I'm going to end the episode, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Yeah, being able to have this episode sponsored by so-and-so, and then the next episode that you see of whatever series, this episode sponsored by so-and-so, and really just to show that love for the people who have pledged month after month, more than once. It really, 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 I think, will mean a world of difference in people wanting to pledge, and it's also going to make me feel better that I'm giving them and you something a little bit more tangible that you can see every month, see where your money's going, kind of thing. That sort of thing. I'm also going to probably get rid of things that are just way too time consuming, like me drawing art for a $3 pledge. That one was just a little bit unreasonable because I decided, I was going to do it for everyone who pledged more than $3, and then everyone pledged more than $3, and I was at a loss. I honestly was overwhelmed with that. So things like that will probably be going away, but I appreciate any suggestions you guys have. We'll see you guys in the next episode of TimeShot. Let's fly around before I end the episode. The episode's over, but let's just quickly fly around and see how this is looking. Oh yeah, that's gonna look really good. Oh, I love the angles. Never mind her curves, I love her angles. Oh, this is great, guys. I love the way that it looks. Yes, and from above, yes. Nice. Oh, that's gonna look really good on the overviewer. Really good. I'm still working on trying to make a overviewer available to the public. Trust me, it's something that I'm aware of, something that I'm working on. Whew, this is looking good. I like this. I like this a lot. It's really good. All right, with that, guys, we're going to end it there. Can't wait to finish that off. We did a lot of work. Soon we're going to be in 1.14 too. Oh, I can't wait to see what changes I can do then. But anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.